Hello and welcome to the On The D.L podcast. I'm your host, Danny LeClaire, and this is a new show. So this is the first episode, so we're going to figure it out. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to learn together. The emphasis of this show is to share groundbreaking stories and trending topics, really anything that may have missed mainstream media, or just bring more attention to trending stories that you may have missed personally. There's just so much content out there in the world, and it seems like there's groundbreaking news every day, and then things get lost, and I don't know, there's just a lot of cool stuff out there that I think is worth sharing, and that's the whole emphasis of the show. Ideally, each episode is going to be about 30 minutes. However, I will probably go over that. I might go under it. Who knows? We're just going to figure it out as we go, as this is the first one of hopefully many, many episodes. And you can listen on Spotify, and I'm going to post this everywhere that I can. Apple Music. I don't know. Does Amazon have a podcast? Who knows? Maybe that could be the next episode. Does Amazon host podcasting? I'm sure they do. Everybody has a podcast. I actually had originally started one back in COVID, just like everybody else did, and quickly abandoned it as I got bored and was just kind of doing it for fun. But this is a project that I think could be in the works for a long time, and something that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate in a passionate in a lot of different topics, and I'm trying to learn as much as I can with the free time that I have. And so that is the goal of this episode, and I hope that you enjoy listening to it. And if you have anything that you would like to submit to the show, I would be happy to take a look at it. You can always find me on Instagram, Danny LeClaire. You can also reach out. Eventually, I will make an Instagram for this account or for this show, but seeing as this is the first episode, we're just getting started. So bear with me as we get everything together. Okay, so with all of the particulars in set up there, let's just jump right into it. So the first story that I want to cover and talk about is this. It's really insane. This league, I guess you could call it a sports league. I don't know. I mean, there's competition here for sure. So it's called RunItStraight, and you've probably seen them on Instagram, or they're really trending on TikTok right now. But it is this, I guess, a league that is centered around collisions in rugby. So two guys they get set up on either side of a field, and the goal is there's a defender and I guess an offender. I don't know. How do you say that? A guy with the ball. Okay, there's one guy with the ball, and there's one guy who doesn't have the ball, and the goal is for the defender to stop the guy with the ball, the guy on offense, and the goal for the guy on offense is to, get through the guy. Here's a twist. There's really no rule other than you just have to run straight at each other head on. And these dudes, you got to watch some of the footage. You could find them, RunItStraight 24 on Instagram. They're like all over TikTok, all over YouTube. Think of this, if you know what power slap is, that's where, that's another like ridiculous league where two people stand across from each other and they just slap the shit out of each other. And that's it. Like, there's really no, and you can't move. Like, you're supposed to keep I think you, if you're the one being slapped, if you're the slappee, that sounds wrong. If you're the person getting slapped, you're supposed to keep your arms behind your back and you can't move, and you're supposed to just get hit in the head and try not to get knocked out. And then the person doing the slapping, the slapper, you can only use one hand, and then you just hit them in the head, and you just go until somebody wins, I guess. I'm not really sure. But RunItStraight is essentially the same kind of concept where, like I said, you have two guys who they just run at each other full speed. And right now, the people that are doing this are some of the largest men that I've ever seen. I mean, these guys just go at it. The owner, the CEO, his name is Dana Brown. You can also find him on Instagram and I'm probably going to say this wrong, so I apologize, but it's Charzima, Charizma, Charzima 68. that's gonna be a common theme in this show is me mispronouncing names. So just I'll try to put everything in the description in case you want to follow up and get the correct information. I'm not claiming to be the end all be all solution. So definitely hang in there. We'll figure it all out. But it's incredible. I've never seen a league that it's like you're taking the most exciting part of a collision sport like rugby and just doing that. It would almost be like, imagine if you had a baseball league that was just a home run derby. It was just hitting home runs. I think the difference here is that watching two dudes slam into each other while running full speed is like pretty sick. And these guys also, I should mention, like they are getting hurt. Like they, as if you're like, yeah, no shit. Yeah, they're really like they're hitting each other hard. They do this. I hope for money. I hope somebody is paying these dudes because there is no way you should just be getting brain damage for free. Yeah, it's pretty intense. So yeah, if you need some casual watching while you're I don't know, eating breakfast tomorrow morning, look up RunItStraight. They've been around since 2024, and it's only getting more popular. I could totally see Dana White or some promoter here in the States making it extremely popular. I believe as of right now, it seems to be very popular in Australia, maybe New Zealand. So yeah, check it out. RunItStraight 24. And I'm just warning you now, if you don't like to see people getting hurt, then don't watch it. But it is nicknamed the Collision Championship. I'm looking at their Instagram right now, and it's very intense. These guys are not messing around, and they're like athletic. Like these guys, like they're big. I mean, they're all rugby players, and they're strong, and they're running so fast. It's really, it's really something. Keeping in the same realm of sports, here's another cool league that does not involve as much collisions, at least not from what I can see. It's called Unrivaled. You may have heard of this. It is a new professional 3-on-3 women's basketball league. And what's pretty cool about this is that the games are played on a smaller court. So it's 70 feet by 50 feet. And it's also, for right now, it is the highest average salaries in women's sports. And there's 36 initial players. I believe that their first season is this year, as they were just created within the past year or so. It's pretty cool. It's like 3-on-3 professional women's basketball. Kind of reminds me of the that league that was it Ice Cube had started, the Ballers, that like summer 3-on-3 league. Always like seeing new trending women's sports and professional women's sports. Always like to support new, especially a sport that maybe has a bit more of a future and does not involve brain damage. I don't know. I mean, yeah, this one I could see sponsors having an easier time attaching themselves to this, but the Run It Straight to the Concussion League, I don't know about that one. It's fun to watch, but the future, I don't know how long. So check it out. Check out the Unrivaled. They have some pretty cool merch too. All right, moving on from sports. So this one, I don't know. This one's a little cringy, but I don't know if you've seen this trending on TikTok or not, but it's coffee shop raves. So, I mean, imagine like the most annoying people all hyped up on caffeine and just dancing at like 4 p.m. in a coffee shop. That's basically, that's essentially what this looks like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm all for having a good time, but if I'm just trying to get a latte, I don't want to be like waiting and have to pay a cover charge. Can I ask Diplo to pass the half and half? I don't know how long this is going to last, but it's an alcohol-free concept that's been popping off in Europe over the last year. Essentially, DJs and music artists, they'll take over like a coffee shop or a cafe or whatever, and particularly these happen on Sundays, it seems, and it's now making its way down to Australia. So keeping things keeping things down. I'm not going to do an Australian accent. I know you wanted me to. I'm not going to do it because I'm bad at it. Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm all for, having a good time and being healthy. I've even, the past couple months, I've changed my drinking habits. It sounds funny when you say that. It's like, I don't have a problem. I did Lent this year, and I gave up drinking. I wasn't completely, a saint. I did drink on my birthday. I'm sure Jesus Cristo can overlook that. But anyway, coffee shop raves. Yeah, go to Starbucks and pull out your turntable. And I don't even know what DJs use. Is turntables, is that even that might not even be correct at all. But hey, if you guys want to socialize all hopped up on caffeine and dance around, maybe that's what EDM music and house music was made for, is people who are overstimulated on caffeine to just really go for it. If your heart rate is matching the BPMs in a song, that's the ideal baseline to be in. I don't know. I can't say I'll be participating in any of this anytime soon, but that's the whole point of the show, is we're just finding trending things that are coming up and talking about them, whether we like them or not. That's just how it's gonna go. Okay, now this next one, I'm just gonna preface this right off the bat. I have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's going to be the case for most topics. I'm going to say that again for people in the back. Generally, I have no idea what I'm talking about. So this is a safe space for you and me. Okay, we're just talking, we're just having a conversation. There's no right and wrong. The truth of the matter is that there very much is a right or wrong, and I'm sure eventually one of these days I will be told hey, that topic was totally wrong what you said. So keep in mind, I've done very minimal Google searching for this stuff, so don't take everything that I say and then use it in a book report. If anybody does book reports anymore, or does AI just do your book report for you? Whatever. Okay, quantum computing. So a couple months ago, February 19th, Microsoft unveiled the world's first quantum processor, powered by topological qubits. What does any of that mean? We're going to find out after this. No, I'm kidding. There's no commercials. We have no sponsors. This is episode 1. Majorana 1. Majorana 1. Majorana 1. Majorana 1 is the world's first quantum processor powered by topological qubits. From what I understand is that, so basic computers, like the computer that you and I use, a lot of the language, binary, is in either 0 or 1. And you can use any combination of those zeros and ones to mean, to create data, essentially. So 0 is off, 1 is on, or you could say 0 false, 1 true, or whatever it is. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So that could be wrong, but that's what I think it is. Quantum computers, instead of it being 0 or 1, they're accessing data that can be anywhere on the spectrum between 0 and 1. Huh? So essentially, you can use a quantum computer that can solve extremely complex problems much faster than supercomputers. So there's regular computers like the one that you and I use. There are supercomputers like the one NASA and IBM and all those cool people use. And then there's quantum computers that I guess God uses. I don't know. It's not going to be coming out anytime soon. I mean, maybe the iPhone 36 will have a quantum computer in it. And then does anything really matter at that point? So what's really cool about this, that I think Microsoft just kind of slipped under the rug here, because the first headline of making a quantum hold on, let me say it right, a quantum processor powered by topological qubits, topological qubits. I can't even say the name right. If you think I'm going to explain this correctly, that's insane. They created a new state of matter. They just slipped that into the article. Just they're like, hey, we made a really cool computer. Oh yeah, also in fine print, we made a new state of matter. What are you talking about? It's like trying to think of a new color. Like it doesn't make sense. My brain doesn't work like that. I understand run it straight, okay? Two men running each other, straight line. Easy. Got it. New state of matter. Huh? So, and I'm reading this. Obviously, I'm not like explaining this off the top of my head, but this is from Microsoft. This was back, like I said, back in February 19th. As of today's announcements, build on the team's recent breakthrough, the world's first topoconductor. This revolutionary class of materials enables us to create topological superconductivity, a new state of matter that previously existed only in theory. Again, huh? I'm looking at, there's like a graph here that looks completely like alien language. But yeah, essentially the quantum computers and processors and things like that, it unlocks a new way of processing extremely dense and data and computations that would take equipment that we have now like hundreds of thousands of years almost to process them. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. So if you want to check that out, and again, this, I feel like I saw it on Twitter for maybe like 3 seconds, and then I was bombarded with like Shohei Ohtani highlights. So it's like, this is so cool. This is way cooler than whatever the Dodgers are doing, but I don't hear anything about it. Like, yeah, it's really, really interesting. So you can check it all out on Microsoft. And staying in the world of technology and space and all that kind of fun stuff, I always look at images from NASA because I'm a nerd and I really like space. I think it's really cool, and it kind of blows my mind. Yeah, like, you ever meet somebody and they say that they don't like space, or they just like, I don't get it. I just like, so what? Like, it's just outer space. Like, are you insane? It's so, I understand it's scary. Like, it is. Like, it's, and that's another thing that I don't really fully understand. Like, I can't wrap my head around the vast nothing emptiness that surrounds us. You know what? Maybe I will go to one of those coffee shop raves, because that sounds a lot more enjoyable than pondering my existence and reality. But I do also like looking at the pictures from the James Webb Space Telescope, which is a really cool telescope that's floating around however many hundreds of thousands of miles an hour. And they always release new images, every couple of months, the images that NASA deems safe that don't show any aliens. Yeah, we're on to you, big NASA. But anyway, they released a new image, and I'm going to try my best to describe what it is that I'm looking at, but it's a square image, and there are like thousands of dots. It's, black mostly, and then sprinkled in, there's all these colorful little dots, red, yellow, a lot of yellow, some blue. It's totally filled in with all this little bits of color, and there are some of these little blobs that are like pointy, and they have like a lens flare kind of coming off of them. So those are stars that are much closer to the telescope. And then the ones that are kind of softer, those are further back. And also those are galaxies. So in this image, there are stars and there are galaxies that contain millions of stars, planets, you name it. And there's thousands of galaxies. So that means that there's like millions of tiny planets and stars and everything in this little image. It's really fascinating, and I know it's kind of scary, and sometimes you think like, well, why does that matter to me? I think it's pretty cool that, like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily change my daily life looking at this picture, but it kind of gives you a sense of perspective, right? That, like, that parking ticket that you got really, in the grand scheme of things, may not be that big of a deal, because, like, look how cool all these galaxies and stars, and I just can't wait. Unfortunately, I feel like our lifetimes, we're like right there, right before space exploration is going to become a part of human life. Maybe our great grandchildren will surf the stars. That was lame. I don't know why I said that. It sounded really cool in my head, and then as soon as I said the words, it was lame. Oh well, it's out there. But yeah, it's just really cool, and you could follow them. You could follow NASA, and then I think that they have their own, like, James Webb has their own like Twitter account, and probably their Instagram, where they'll share highlights and stuff. As I said, like the declassified images that don't show the Martians floating around. And I have to give a shout out to, I'm sure if you're on TikTok, and if you're in the space related algorithm at all, I guarantee that you have at least seen one video from Astro Alexandria. She makes these really cool and, like, fun videos, just all about space. And she has 2.5 million followers on TikTok, another 600,000 on Instagram. So I guarantee that you've seen her before, seen her content. And I saw her video explaining this NASA, this picture. And yeah, I just thought it was a really cool story that, not a lot of people are talking about. So yeah, give her a follow, Astro Alexandria, on pretty much all the major social medias. Looks like she has Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. So if you're are you Threader? What do you call that? What is, honestly, what is Threads? Like, what is going on over there? And why does Instagram want me to join every day? Who's more annoying? This is gonna be all right. Here we go. Our first controversial take. Who's more annoying, Jehovah's Witnesses or the Threads notifications? I do not mean that offensively at all. I'm just messing around, just joking. No one get upset. But, like, why the Threads? Like, what's the point? I mean, because isn't it like Twitter? I don't know. Again, who knows? Who's to say? All right. Our next topic of discussion for the very first episode, which I should also mention, with this episode, the goal is to create a sense of, like, learning and understanding for both me and you, and just to share stories that are fun and exciting, and things that are worth sharing and talking about. And the goal, really, as I mentioned in the beginning, is to highlight these stories and to connect with people. And these could really be anything. So it could be sports, it could be technology, pop culture. It really is up to me, I guess, or you, if you have, like I said, if you have something that you're very interested in, let me know. So, all right, this next one, this is very local to where I currently live in Las Vegas, but it's a restaurant that is pretty popular in the area. It's called Smash and Slice, and they make some really, really good smash burgers. They also have pizza. I have not tried their pizza yet, but just, like, the original burger is awesome. I feel like the bun, like, they almost, like, make the buns there, maybe. Like, it's so good. And yeah, it's really, really good. If you're in Las Vegas, you could check them out. They're on Maryland Parkway. Like I said, I've had their regular, let me pull up the menu so I say the right word. The single smash. Wait, I think no, who am I kidding? I've done the double smash with grilled onions, and I like to add the jalapenos on there. It's very good. So I highly recommend Smash and Slice. And yeah, I think that that's going to do it for our first episode. Let's check on the time. Hey, 25 minutes. Pretty good. Pretty good for the first one. So yeah, this show will be a weekly show that will come out maybe Mondays or Fridays. I'm not sure yet. I have to figure that out. I would be it would be wrong of me to not include this in the first episode. So I have to give a huge shout out to my really good friend Evan. I was hanging out with him over the weekend, and we were driving back to his house, and I don't know how this came up, but he was like, "Oh, your initials DL, like on the DL, like you keeping it on the DL." And I was like, "Oh yeah, like I don't know. I've always kind of known. I don't really have necessarily a nickname. Well, I take that back. I've had many nicknames, but none of them have really enjoyed. I don't know. Other than like Danny Phantom, that's probably the only nickname I'm getting off topic. Anyway, he suggested, he's like, "Oh, that'd be cool, like on the DL." And I thought, oh, it would be cool to do a show or do a podcast called On The D.L or Keeping It DL. And this show, I saw him, I was hanging out with him last weekend, and here it is. Today's Monday that I'm recording this. So yeah, I mean, I really owe a lot of this inspiration or creation. Sometimes it just takes somebody to say something to you and like, oh yeah, wait a minute, that makes total sense. Like, why have I not done this sooner? And I didn't want to wait to record. And sometimes, you have these ideas and it's like, well, everything has to be perfect and I need to have the right equipment and I don't know what to say and the lighting and the whatever. And where do I even post a podcast? I mean, just do it. Just go for it. I mean, I have no script. I can describe my area for you. I'm sitting at a desk right now. I found like a couple topics that I'm interested in. And then I have a recorder that I've had for years and this microphone. I'm actually holding this microphone in my hand. It's not like a standalone. It's one you put on top of a camera. So it's not even like a podcasting microphone at all. So yeah, you don't need the equipment, the fancy equipment. Like, you just got to do it. Just go for it. And sometimes it takes, a friend, somebody you trust to put that out into the universe, and then you act on it. So, so big shout out to Evan. And in other news, I've been keeping up. If you follow me on other social medias, at Danny LeClaire, you can also follow me. I have a new community that I'm starting called New Day, New Skill. That's on Instagram, where currently I'm learning how to draw. And it's going pretty well, I would say. I mean, I'm definitely, doing better than I was a month ago. But that's another community that's made for you. So if you're learning something new and you'd like to share it with anybody, you can tag me in it, New Day, New Skill. You can send me a DM, whichever way is easiest for you, and we'll get you featured. So that's going to do it for our very first episode of On The D.L. I'm your host, Danny LeClaire. Why? That sounds like a radio show. Does anybody? I don't know how to do podcasts. I really don't. So I don't know. Is that how you do a closing, or do I just end the episode like The Sopranos? It just goes black. All right. I'm gonna stop rambling. Just filling time. That's it. Check in. I'll check in with you next week. And have a good day. See you.